Hello everyone, welcome back. It wouldn't be a video without me saying it's been a while. Yeah, I did my ultra marathon, I did my marathon, and just recovery. I've just been really tired, um, mentally and physically, with the 4 month training block, and then them races were very, very physically and mentally draining. So I've just spent the last few weeks chilling and. What better opportunity to jump right back in than the new Jurassic World Rebirth trailer? I'm not reacting to this because I've already watched it. I just wanted to give some thoughts. Take them as you will. It's I'm not exactly very active in the community anymore. Just life in general and things. Obviously, those who know us know that we worked on the world films, the viral marketing, the world building, all that stuff. Unfortunately, we were not brought back up until the point of this recording. Maybe that'll change, maybe not, for Rebirth, but I'm guessing because it's a whole new crew, Gareth Edwards and all of that. Colin was always a big champion for bringing us back. And but good luck to them. As I think Jack in his videos and whatnot has expressed online, we're always here if needed. But as it stands, we're just myself in particular as well, and everyone is just a fan going back into this. So very excited to watch Jurassic World Rebirth as a fan. My opinions are just my opinions. Don't take offense to them or anything like that. Anyone who knows me knows that I always joke and I'm lighthearted. I don't really care anyway. I mean, I care about the franchise and the movie, but I'm not going to sit here and cry or lose my shit over stuff. It's just a film at the end of the day, and I don't have anything negative or mega negative to say. The first time I watched a few bits of, I can't remember if it's this trailer, the other bit, I was a bit like, oh, but then I was like, what, it is what it is. I'll watch it, I'll enjoy it, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Touch wood. But it's been well over a decade, or it's been a decade, I don't know time frame, since I watched a Jurassic film as just a fan. So it's gonna be interesting. And some might say I was a shill for the last few films, and rightly so. So I've earned any negative opinions I might have or that do come out of this. It's very balanced. So so it is exciting watching this as a fan, considering as well with Dominion, like we watched it. Yeah, we knew what was going on, like plot points and all of that, well ahead of time. But Jack, Ross, and I watched the Dominion at the Pinewood John Barry Theatre like over a year before the film came out. So, we've gone from one extreme to another now. So exciting. So I'm just gonna go through the video and it's just give my 2 cents about it. So here we go. So this scene here it looks cool, and everyone's always wanted that flashback in a Jurassic movie, and the closest I think we got to it was the Charlotte the Charlotte Lockwood video diaries from Dominion, going back to like Sauna, but they were just sort of like tidbits. So this is kind of like a full-on flashback. People are still trying to piece together, from what I've seen, is the particular timelines. I think the Empire, I still haven't read the Empire article. I've just seen bits and bobs people have been chucking online. That's how out of it I've been in the last few weeks, with just like the race fatigue and whatnot. I've not even sort of grasped anything yet for the movie. So I'm sure I saw it mentioned somewhere like 17 years ago or something like that. So, or 2010. Oh yeah, because this is set in 2027, I believe. Yeah, 5 years after Dominion. So yeah, so 2010-ish is like a potential timeline for this. Although in that article they might have been referring to, you know, like the production time slot. So you know, this could be 2008. But yeah, it's got very, very strong Godzilla 2014 vibes with, you know, this whole scenario. And I did, funnily enough, I put a clip of this up online when they showed the teaser for this trailer, of saying that this scene was almost not light for light, but it was almost mirrored at that scene in The Mist where they chucked the soldier. Well, not completely mirrored, but the visuals and the scenario. They chucked the soldier outside the supermarket, and he's sort of like banging on the glass like this, and then the big crustacean mist monster comes out and like pulls him up, similar to how this looked in that teaser. Yeah, I wasn't being sort of like, ooh, they copied it, but I just thought it was quite funny, because that was the first thing I thought of when I see it. I was like, oh shit, that's like The Mist, which I love. The Mist is such an unnerving, unsettling movie. But one thing I do like about this scene is the acting of this guy here. I don't know if anyone's pointed it out, but yeah, it's real, sort of not heartbreaking, but it's just real. The fear that he gives across in this scene is just really kind of uncomfortable, is the word. You know, it's not like that typical Hollywood of like, let me out, or like, and all of that. It's just real. It's almost, he almost becomes like, you know, like a child, like a scared child in that scene. This bit. And he just gets whipped up. I saw some people saying that about the D-Rex was like caressing him or something like that. I don't know. I think it's, you know, it's, my thoughts would be that it's kind of its first interaction with like humans. I could be completely wrong, so it's kind of just curious, and that's kind of where the fear is relayed across in the scientist guy, because he's like, you know, maybe he knows that, and he knows he's fucked because it's not going to be a quick death.
On the island we're headed to.
Okay, we have our ragtag crew here, and then we have the lab. You know, in the film timeline or the film setting, it doesn't. You know, this could potentially just looks like, yeah, aging rather than complete destruction. So I don't think the D-Rex goes on a rampage here, or at least affects this area. This could just be, yeah, this just looks like a ceiling caved in. It doesn't look like, you know, someone went wild in here.
Did experimental work, leaving only the worst ones here.
This looks awesome though, the T-Rex, just how it kind of sort of like just slowly and menacingly goes into the water. Again, I'm harping back to another film. I think it's like another 2008 film, or it might be 2007. There's a film called Rogue. It's a crocodile film. It's an Australian crocodile or alligator film, and there's this one scene where they're sort of stranded on the bank, and the crocodile grabs a guy and flings him in the water, and then it goes to the perspective of him, like the other side of the water, because it like tears his arm off or something when it throws him in the water, and the camera's behind him, and you just see in the background on the shore, the crocodile just slowly turns and just slowly comes towards him, you know, just like menacingly, but that impending doom of the crocodile just coming towards him. And it's kind of like that. I get that feeling with that. It's not like, you know, typical like Hollywood monster of like, I'm coming for you. It's just really horrible, slow, impending doom. But this is cool. It's nice that they finally tied something into the river adventure ride, or the novel, as some people like to call it. But yeah, very interested to see how this will play out. that weird sort of like morphed T-Rex Raw was odd. It's like they've strung together like 3 or 4 different T-Rex Raws from the franchise. We'll see if that's just for the trailer effect. It's like, oh, we want to do it the same but different. But this is pretty much King Kong 2005, like Skull Island vibes right here.
See that every day.
Forever.
Dinosaurs. I've seen a lot of people as well get into like debates about the Quetz's look here because it's very different
This quick, huh?
from Dominion.
Time to move.
You know, I like the Dominion one, but I'm very biased, as you know.
Place where we don't belong.
And yeah, this is. I wonder if this sort of hops back to maybe the flashback or something like that. Yeah, I haven't seen anything to say otherwise. You know, I've just been avoiding spoilers online and that, so I don't know if this is in the flashback or not.
That's kind of our specialty.
Could be like the evacuation or something like that.
She's scared.
Again, sorry, I'm going to jump back here. This is fucking like Skull Island 2017 feeling here, you know, when Samuel Jackson's on like the riverbank.
She's scared.
Oh, you got Bumpy, the rebirth Bumpy here. You got to please them kids, but hey.
She's scared of.
Again, the T-Rex does look menacing as fuck, but yeah, almost had a xenomorph appearance to it then, which is funny because there's a lot of like LV 420 vibes going on here.
There was a source.
Was it 426? One of them.
It found us.
I get mixed up between 420 Stoner Day. But this is awesome as well because again, every scene I'm watching, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of this film. This reminds me of that film, and you know, this scene is, you know, I see someone say, I reckon this is definitely going to be third act sort of stuff. You know, we've got like Jaws meets Free Willy sort of thing going on here. So, but I'm sure it's going to be like visually spectacular. But I think I perused right over the top of the Mutadons. Yeah, I'm not sure where I feel about them. I'll have to see them in the film itself. But yeah, when I first saw this, I just got visuals of, funnily enough, Godzilla 2014, which is Gareth Edwards' other film, or yeah, Godzilla film. What was the big thing? The big bad monster in that film? Was it the Muto? So yeah, it just looks like that. Mini versions of them. It's like the Godzilla 98 baby versions of them. And this is just Lost World Worker Village.
There was a source. We found it?
But yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go in too deep into, you know, why not this, why that, what are the choices here, because, you know, we'll save that for when the film comes out. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on, well, my thoughts, I was thinking and what I think now going through this trailer. Yeah. So there it is. Joe, it does feel like to me this this film and this trailer gives me the vibes of the old 2013 Jurassic Park arcade. That was very loud. But yeah, it feels more like a follow-up to this or a version of this than actual the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. Jurassic Park in chaos. Yeah. Like the visuals, it's the fucking same. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, one thing I'm going to say that I'm not a fan of, but I was, you know, this isn't me being biased because I was the same with Jurassic World Dominion, is I'm just on the Jurassic World Twitter here. These posts, I just don't. So, I mean, I get if people like them, I think they're cool, and I'm a big poster guy. You know, that's the only movie thing I collect. But some of these are just like such odd choices for Jurassic World. A lot of the ones that come out with Dominion were very hokey, and looked awful. Like my biggest gripe with Dominion, if I had one, was the poster. That main like golden cast photo just looked where they were just dumped around the amber logo. It was just messy and some really bad Photoshop, and it's just a real bad choice for a poster, if you ask me. Especially when we got the such talented people out there like Neems, who's contributed to posters officially before, and there was a lot of potential for Dominion, and that's what they went with as a main. And then they had these like weird scene posters as well. This doesn't, it just doesn't sell Jurassic to me. I can't imagine I know they're like the precept to this film is like, oh, it looks a little bit more horror-y and horror based, and aimed at a more mature audience, but that's not the case. Universal never in a million years would ever exclude their base audience from Jurassic Park, and we can tell that already just because they've flooded the market with toys. And you've got the is it the Aquilops, the basically bumpy, the rebirth bumpy in this movie. It's like it's gonna be heavy on the family element, which I have no problem with. I've always said from day one, going back into like the Jurassic cast days of like Jurassic Park, the franchise, the movie, it's a family adventure movie. So I'm never going to say that shouldn't be an element of it, because that is the heart and soul of this franchise. But, this doesn't kind of give off family vibes, I can't imagine, like Jurassic World was a perfect example. A lot of the Fallen Kingdom posters, you're like, dinosaurs, like a family walking out the cinema seeing, I don't know what's out now, Final Destination. They wouldn't take them to see that, but just an example. Be like, oh yeah, we've got to go and watch that movie. I can't imagine sort of like a family trying to convince their like 8-year-old and 10-year-old daughters that this is a cool film to go and watch for them. Unlike the T-Rex. These are like them hokey posters that I wasn't a fan of, and Dominion had them as well, with like Claire, a bad photoshopped Claire when the Dilophosaurus behind her, and so is there other posters, or they're not really I'm sure I see some more posters somewhere. It's probably on Instagram or something, but so just the posters are not selling it for me. If I was to have a big gripe with this, as well as the same gripe I had with Dominion, and I'm struggling with this color scheme and the logo. It feels very Etsy to me, but these are small gripes to have in the grand scheme of things, but there's some bits in the trailer which I'm a bit like meh, but I'll be open to watching the film with an open mind. At the end of the day, it can't be as bad as Jurassic Park 3, so we've got that. And if it is worse than Jurassic Park 3, then holy fuck. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I've got a few ideas actually for some more Jurassic videos, so hopefully I'll pump them out in the run up to Rebirth, and the algorithm will do me some favours. So see you later, guys.